Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. This time, I'm delighted to have Jenny Li Ciccone with me, who's someone I've been working with for a while. And she's very spiritually gifted, and it's always a pleasure working with her and talking with her. And so I thought she'd be an excellent guest on the show. So welcome to the show, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Adam, for having me.
It's a pleasure. So would you like to start by telling us a bit about yourself and who you are and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm very honored to share this with your audience. Talking about spirituality, I would definitely say that I even don't know about this concept in at least half of my life before. So I was born in Asia, brought up, with Asian culture, whatever. So at the beginning, of my life as a child, we learn to pursue external success. So I just was trying to be a good girl, good student, good everything, right? And then working in the corporate, so it sounds like do well. So I didn't know anything. But then this story, it's really my unique part. Suddenly, when I worked in the corporate as a career coach and a consultant, one day I remember it's in the afternoon, I suddenly heard, something in my mind about the world needs healers. So I felt like, okay, wait a minute. What do you mean? I even don't know. That's 20 years ago. So then I just let it. I forgot, but I said, oh, okay. I felt like it's nothing. But then, things started to happen. I finally felt like the corporate life didn't really bring the things, as I have been seeking. I regard myself as a lifetime seeker. So I lost the passion. I didn't feel like I was helping people in the corporate because climbing higher on the ladder, more power with more money didn't really bring the happiness I thought people would. And I started to feel like, oh, I'm confused. Am I really helping people? So I started to seek again further. I thought that was the end. I was doing good. Da, da, da. So then, suddenly when I questioning my mind again, I said, what's my next step? I don't feel like I want to do this anymore. I'm not helping people. What is really, the thing I could do to help to really have the deep inside, those kind of happiness? Then my life suddenly changed, from upside down totally. Things started to happen. Everything was bad in every area. I don't go to the details. So I started like downturn side of the road of my life. And at the bottom, finally, for many years, I was there, pushed down there, could not get out, getting stuck with all these emotions, negative and unfairness, all these kind of feelings, angry. Finally, I lost strength to fight. So I was forced to surrender. And then the minute after I surrendered, interestingly, the new door started to open to me. It's like I was guided into a new path. That's why finally I went, onto the new career path, shifting from coaching career or in the corporate to the healing journey. Now I started to realize, oh, this is about healing because finally, when I went through a lot, I needed to heal myself. So this I regarded as the spiritual awakening point of my life. So it's almost like I have to be pushed down to the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. It's a long time, many years. Went through a lot, and you just had to obey and surrender and keep going. And now you learn and you made progress, especially your soul. So coming to this place right now, when we are in this community, we share our work, going out to do the work. So I just felt like, this is the journey and it's all worth it. And it doesn't necessarily be, like that bad, at surface level when you look at your life situation. So that's the journey. It's a journey. It's not only one moment.
Mm. Yeah, so it's quite a common theme, really, and it's similar to mine in that we have a dark night of the soul, or some period where you hit rock bottom and things are no longer working. And it's from that, you need to get there, really, don't you, to the point where you actually surrender, as you said, and you described it so beautifully. And then things start to open up. And so, it's interesting to hear that that was your particular journey. So how are you, so you said you started the healing journey for both yourself and clients. I know you work with people. What do you do to help them? What's your modality? What sort of techniques do you use?
Oh, yeah. Oh, so I forgot because you mentioned to me, asked me to really introduce myself. Yeah, finally I went onto this journey, and after officially, I have done this work, for 10 years. Before that, I did some, freelance work. Finally, I work now as a soul satisfaction coach and use a lot of different modalities doing soul satisfaction, energy healing, if you can call this, or I use divine love healing to do this. One thing I really love to, share, because I felt like it's just so important about the spirituality, the topic we talk about. What it is really the thing. Do we need to, talk about this experiences all the time, all of us? Is it for everybody? I learned, because I was trained as a coach. So coach, we love to go to the bottom of the things and make it simple and get the result. So that's why I'm a kind of a system person. When I do the healing, I would say many people even feel like my work or so doesn't look like healing because it's my kind of style. It's the system I finally found. You work as IT, I know. I worked in the corporate.
Yes. So we both have a similar background in coming from, the very much the business and corporate and external world. That's right. Yes.
Yeah, we were trying to use our logical mind, right, to work out things or so. That's what I found when I mentioned the system. The majority in the world still trained people to really use our mind and the body made as major parts. But when we talk about bring human potential, full potentials out, I finally realized, I didn't know that when I worked, in the corporate. I finally knew that, we human really, are, a system with all parts, which includes body, mind, heart, and the soul. The soul we talk about, it's our spiritual higher self. I'm sorry, I have to let that go. So we just have to, know we are more than our body and mind. So if we only get stuck in our mind, if I could say so, use our logical minds to solve the problem, provide solutions in our life, we are only based on what we already knew and experienced in our life. But that part, it's really limited and, restricted. Without creativity, or I would say power So that's why when we could use some tools to help us come out of our mind, really come to connect to our heart. And then this is the concept I like to share. Our heart organ, I learned that is really the organ of our human feelings meet the divine higher frequency of emotions, which are unconditional love, peace, joy, and the freedom, which are all that human want to seek and, receive and get. But, if we don't go to our heart to connect that part, the spiritual side of us, then with our earthly experiences, I don't see really that many people that who extremely, experienced extremely unconditional love or whatever without any other kind of, disconnection or so. So only in that part, if we could connect to our spiritual part, the spiritual higher self, where the divine love really lives, and then we can relax. Our body can also start to shift from this contracted, nervous, stressed state to relax. And then, the fresh energies, the new things could come into our being from the universe, which are always there. And then, in that heart part, we feel already love, secure, protected. And then these fresh energies come into our beings. Our energy fields are opening up. Our body itself has the intelligence to heal itself with physical symptoms. And then we could shift from our unpleasant emotional patterns, emotions, and release. We could use the tools to release them and really shift into that state. It's a process, step by step, and we come to that state. Now we feel better, and the energy starts to, flow. And then the healing in different areas already naturally start. That's why we said we have a healer. Everybody has a healer inside of us. And one more scientific proof I found. Our human as a feeder baby in mom's womb, the interesting part to find that our heart is the first organ, not the brain, that starts to develop as a baby. So that proves that we human are the spirit lives in our body, not the other way. So this really, gives me so much clarity, and that's what I also go out to share this a lot with others. So we just have to come to our heart. Then, the healing really starts from there. We cannot, feel and think about feelings and feel about or think about love in our mind. It just has to come to the heart. I hope I get myself clear here.
Very interesting. I'm just thinking that, certainly for me, part of my journey has been to get out of my head into my heart, and it's this logical thinking which can just sort of get you to sidestep the feelings that you need to feel. And, the first step for therapy is always to acknowledge and feel your feelings. So, I 100%, agree that it's about getting out of your head into your heart, feel your feelings. And that's also where the, intuition starts to kick in and all these insights that you need. But it's very interesting to hear you talk about this connection between the heart and, the higher dimensions, higher spiritual selves. And that's sounds like you're saying that's the entrance gate through which the healing comes. Yes. So I mean, that's I hadn't really thought about that, but I mean that makes a lot of sense. And I've heard, I don't know if people are familiar with Sarah Elkady, who has a YouTube channel, but I really like her videos, and she's and one of them said that one of the key differentiators between someone, two people can have exactly the same teaching, but it's only what can set them apart is how heart-centered one of them is compared to the other one. And it does seem to come down to being heart-centered in the end, or working from not from your head but from your heart, in order for the healing to happen, for things to open up. And I've also worked with clients who are so good at rationalizing their feelings. So they won't feel the feelings. What they'll do, they'll think the way around them and think, oh yes, well that means such and such, and I need to think this and things like that. No, just feel your feelings.
Yes, but that's so common because the society, the world just suppressed us. We were, taught that way. We don't feel safe. Or many clients I work with, they shared that they were even punished, ridiculed, whatever, for showing their feelings, especially we people. We are highly sensitive, spiritually oriented, intuitive people. As children, it's challenge. Oh, you're so sensitive, or whatever. Suck it up. Yes.
Now it's especially I think it varies from culture to culture, but especially men in the Western culture, especially in Britain, historically they had to, stiff upper lip and not about showing their feelings, or suck it up, and
everywhere.
It's terrible thing, which is
yes,
while men can be so relatively emotionally illiterate in that they just not used to feeling their feelings and talking about them, and it's a great shame because I think the next stage of evolution, without using too grandiose a term, is to it's about feeling your feelings and evolving and that kind of thing. And it's there was something else I was going to say. It'll come back to me.
Sure. So I just pick up your topic. That's why when we are in this community, EFT, tapping emotional freedom technique we both use, and in Gary's community Optimal, this is almost like a spiritual healing, but we also use our own modality, whichever modality we use. One concept I also like to share is that people in the society, we judge our own selves, our feelings, especially negative. So we don't allow ourselves to be negative, which I think it's just only natural human feelings, unpleasant feelings, if we could talk about this, objectively in a neutral state, right? But people just don't like it. So when they have their unpleasant feelings, they try to really deal with it, fix it. Or if they are emotional, happen to be sensitive people, which are our, gifts, I would say, finally, we people doing this kind of healing work. But, people try to, hide, freeze it, or, push them down, push against, fighting against, which cause so much conflict inside. It's like an internal battle. So on the top of all these, feelings, fear, anger, and some of those issues, feelings, energies we even take on from the world, especially under this challenging situation in the world. So everything is there. So just keep us feel so overwhelmed. It's almost like there are a lot of, thoughts and feelings pulling us into different directions. And then we feel like, get split inside or torn apart. So that's why it caused so much anxiety, the people's issue, insomnia, headaches, a lot of physical symptoms, and others, of course, stress, relationship triggers, and cannot focus, cannot concentrate finally, and all these kind of issues. But many people, I would say, are not aware of the roots about that. Then they try to, try harder to fix it, still from our head, from our mind state. It's almost like when we are, you know, in the bottom of the well, we try to pull ourselves up to the top. So that's, again, I would say it's so important. That's why we want to talk about the spirituality, the spiritual part of ourselves. It's inside of us, not out there. We could go out, try to grab something to feed our needs or to get the love we want, but actually it's inside. We need to change the direction, come and go within to ourselves. And one more thing, of course, it's all about we try to put positive stuff into our being. We could use a lot of other things, physical activities, gym, workout, you know, nature, all kinds of things, you know, animals, children, or especially natural things with the universe higher frequency energies. But eventually, people still come back to these four parts: body, mind, and heart and soul, emotional part. It's the part that nobody can avoid. No matter how hard we try to freeze, hide, even deny, ignore, they go nowhere. They're still inside, got buried and got stuck. That's why finally we feel stuck and we experience all these emotional patterns, thought patterns, beliefs, all came from the incidents. So
yes. No, you're absolutely right. And I think, well, my dark night of the soul was brought about by chronic stress and anxiety. And, you know, as you say, the thing about negative feelings is they just feel so damned unpleasant. I mean, just feel really horrible, which is why, naturally enough, we don't like feeling them. You know, and for me, I had this stress and insomnia, and insomnia is so nasty because as soon as you start thinking about your sleep and panicking about it, this feeling of panic arises, and you think, "Oh my God, I got to run away from that panic," because it grips you by the throat and thing, and you can't outrun these feelings. I think that's the, you know, our instinct is, oh, horrible feeling, you know, not to feel it. Whereas you've got to do the opposite. You've got to jump into it, embrace the feeling and feel it, and, you know, in all its horribleness. And it's when we finally learn to embrace the negative feelings fully and 100%, that's when the healing starts. But, you know, so many people never get that lesson. They just suppress it, or they push it away, or they try and find external things to try and stop them feeling these things. You know, drinking's the classic one. You know, you had a breakup, you're feeling terrible, so what you go and do is drink. You know, so you don't have to feel. And it's all these things. We just run away from negative feelings, and that's why they get trapped inside us, and you know, locked away, along with limiting beliefs that are locked away. And until we start to embrace those feelings, we don't heal, and we keep looking outside for solutions to try and fix us. Whereas the answer is inside.
Oh, fix. Oh my gosh. Fix is such a big word. It's like something's wrong with us. Right. So we try to fix us instead of just honoring what feelings are there, what our body, you know, messages from those symptoms are sending to us, or sent to us, or all kinds. So that's why, you know, we are talking about spirituality here. It's not something like, oh, these are some, high there in the air, nothing to do with us. It's actually, you know, really everybody has that part of the power. That's why we talk about the spiritual awakening. It's really coming out from the separation, disconnection, if we could use those words, you know, from our higher self, really come to the heart to connect that part. And then no matter it's healing your physical symptoms or relationship triggers, usually it came from the childhood way of connection with people, your parents, the world, other, you know, community or so. And really, you know, it's all parts of natural parts of our beings already. It's not something outside or even woo stuff, right? So when we talk about our healing modalities or so, because we use different healing modalities. So I just give some examples. I don't want to overwhelm people, and it doesn't matter they heard of this or not. But EFT kind of become more popular. And for me personally, I also use energy chart and a chakra, human energy anatomy, chakra healing, and some energy activations. I know you have your natural gift, which is really amazing. So it's really gifted. Oh, I just had this come out.
Oh, go on.
Allow me to speak out.
Live intuition here.
Yeah.
Please, yeah, do.
Yes. I even didn't know, because I was trained logical and worked in the corporate. I don't know anything about healing, even spirituality. I was, I'm still a Christian or whatever. Yeah, it's more like, people put it more like a religious, understanding from your mind. Even when people pray, or no matter which part, maybe Buddhist or whatever, it's all the same. People understand it in the mind, but it's really talking about spirit, Holy Spirit, whatever, word you use. So I didn't get it. But then until I kind of lost the word, just came up. Just like you said, it will come back. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I didn't even know I am gifted until I finally healed myself using all these different tools. And the big part is when I come to my heart and heal and really reconnect to my authentic self, not the one I presented myself. I pretended to be somebody who expected me to be. I felt like I was not throwing myself out or presenting myself out 100% as who I was before. So it's like I presented myself as a discounted person myself. You know what I mean, right? So with this kind of healing, I felt like I am more and more coming back to my authentic self. I feel more comfortable about who I am. And I even knew who I am because I was not allowed, not feeling safe. When I was a child, I had to, just push down also my feeling, just only focus on external whatever. I thought, oh, it should not be expressed. It's not right. Many people I work with, they share the same thing. So finally, when I become more and more, and when I'm in this spiritual higher self of me, I felt like, oh, I actually have this gift. That gift was revealed. So now when I do the work, I really am, just naturally connecting to the divine's power. And I felt like I'm in my heart. You and me, we both work together for a while. And we both know that when we do these kind of work, we don't have the attachment and expectation or, trying to do a detective job. What's still there? What is the root there? Let's figure it out, right? Let's ask more and more questions. We don't do that anymore. So we just come out from our own head and come out from this separated ego self. We don't do these things from our ego. We are just connecting with the divine and just stay in a very natural, neutral state. And some information, insights, or whatever, the messages, the words, you can see more better than I do. That's your gift. I can really hear and sense. People don't understand before they experience, but this is my gift. Finally, it's revealed. So when we are just coming back to ourselves, not only the whole being starts to the natural healing process in different areas. And then, whatever you are good at, or you as unique you, even not really everybody has to be a healer. So you have your own thing, maybe your passion. I work with many people, they just, have this creative talent, painting, music, writing, or whatever. They just could not use it because everybody told them this is not something you can live, by, in life, because that doesn't create income for you. You cannot live with your gift and talent. So that's why everybody has to go out there to work, whatever the mainstream, believe that you have to do. So they suppress their gifts, which is part of who they are. So many people, but at the same time, they are doing the work, they don't have the passion or not feel aligned. And every day in the reluctant state, frustrating state to do and keep going like they are slave. I have to make my life happen. So in this unpleasant, conflicting state in the mind again. So that's why a lot of issues start to show up after long enough fighting inside.
Yes, no, I agree 100% with all that. I'm just thinking about my own journey, which very much started as a healing journey because I was just suffering so much and trying to, I wasn't trying to be spiritual or anything like that. I just had stress and anxiety was so bad that I, had to sort it out. And so I started sorting these things out. And it's as you start uncovering these layers and getting rid of all this emotional baggage that was clogging me up for all these years, as you start getting rid of that, then that's an opportunity for what's hidden to start coming out. And you said that it's spirituality, this is in us all, and indeed it is. And it presents itself to different people in different ways. Now, for me, it turned out that I had certain intuitive gifts. I could empathically tune into other people and feel their feelings. I can sense their energy field, and if I dissolve the energy field as if it were mine, then they get the healing benefits. So that's how I work, and that's gradually evolved. But different people have very different will naturally have different ways of expressing that spirituality, and not, as you say, not everyone's going to be a healer. Some people have great, some wonderful clairvoyants who can just see all the see through the veil, as it were, so they can see all these people, all these beings around people, which is, as someone, my seeing is a bit limited at the moment. I'm very much a feeling sort of operate from a sense of feeling and empathetic connection at the moment. So people who can see are really, think, wow, it would be so cool to see auras or see like that. But as you say, some people are just creative, just that is what they're here for. We all, as a soul, to get more spiritual, we're all here for a reason, to express something or discover something, and that just gets hidden away in all the garbage that we pick up, and all the limiting beliefs and all the emotional baggage, and that gets lost. And so I presume that part of your work is, there's a healing element to it. You have to clear away the burden or the emotional baggage, and then that allows what you truly want to do to shine forth. Now, for me, it's a healer. I think for you it is as well, but for other people, it's a very different soul purpose. But it's an opportunity for your soul to find what it wants to do and to sing.
I am so glad you mentioned that, because this is really, especially this current period of time, it's really the good opportunities, good timing for people to experience seemingly bad experiences, what's going on, and the buried old stuff just got stirred up and all revealed themselves and now surfacing. And many people are going through emotional stuff or so, But we people are just kind of, maybe we call ourselves old souls also on this, earthly life. We started our journey, healing journey, or turbulence journey, like years, earlier. That's why we could come out to share this, because we are coming out a lot. So I would really love to say that don't just focus on the surface part, and believe that because our mind is so good at, telling us, see, you're still here. You're still trapped, right? And you believe it. So now when we believe it and we think, yeah, that's true. Now that's true. Maybe I have to live with it. Maybe I have to, circle in the end. And I really feel so sick and tired and hopeless, despair, whatever. Powerless, especially. Oh, I definitely felt that. So powerless. But then still stay in the head, could not find a way to come out. But at the same time, our soul's purpose, I appreciate your point, our soul's essence is there. We came here for a reason, came here to find who we are and our soul's purpose. And I especially love to talk about this because I worked in the corporate. We also talk about life purpose, this and that, aligned with your career, ladder, everything, earn more money. But that's why later on I found, it's not just mental understanding of life purpose. It's really the soul's essence, soul's purpose. So many people came here to find love, unconditional love, to find peace, to shift from bitterness and the frustration, and come out to really experience the soul's satisfaction and soul fulfillment. I think both you and me, we talk about that. Soul's fulfillment. It's not only external, career success, money success, but of course, it's not like really shocking, lacking, no abundance. You still cannot really be happy, right? So it's like a balance, and individually, how our soul's needs are. So this soul's essence, we just cannot change it. Nobody can. Somebody said, oh, I give up. I, totally want to, want nothing to do with this and that. But deep down, this soul's energy, the desire to express ourselves as who we are, to express our life, our purpose, are still there. We even don't know it's there. So that's why inside, it's still, the internal battle is still going on. If I would say, if there is no internal battle, I'm okay. I'm fine. Just live with it. I don't have those kind of soul pains. I don't feel stuck or anything. I could live at the end just like this. That's also okay, right? But it's not. The problem is it's not. So I call this yes, but energy. Yes, I want this, but I'm so trapped. I'm so trapped. I want to get rid of, or I want to give up or whatever. But deep inside, our soul doesn't want to give up. And these people say they want to give up. That's because they haven't found a way yet. If they could find a way, if they see some hope, I bet, because we people are, right? They were just jumping right away to do it, because that's just the soul's essence. Nobody can change it. So I really feel like, as one of us, one of these people, we came out, I really love to share. And in case anybody is in the middle of the stuckness, hopeless, powerlessness feeling or so, just know the old way didn't work. The old structure, the mind structure, the belief structure, and the way we can use our mind to solve the problem. Always, I'm tough, I'm strong, I'm this, but it doesn't seem like it works anywhere anymore. That doesn't mean we are just done. That only means that we need to change a little bit of our direction, use a different approach, shift from mind to heart, to really connect to our soul and know what our souls are saying, are talking through our body symptoms, maybe through our relationship triggers, or maybe through money pains. We people are coming out, went through a lot, right? Finally, it's the money problem. I didn't have that now. It's suddenly, why? Whatever. It's so unfair. When we went through all, we know. For us people, we are meant through to experience also that we can understand what people are talking. Otherwise, you're doing coaching, healing, but you're so fake. You are there. You don't understand our pain, right? So that's why we need it. We are meant to go through this, and we understand. We know, not only understand, we feel, we know, and we know that we can come out. There is hope. We can empower ourselves, but not from here, where problems started.
Yes,
yeah.
You're very much, you need to have gone through the journey yourself and have suffered, as you say, and realize that there's a way through. And, so that you can guide other people through that. So, you need to have gone through that sort of healing, that crisis where nothing's working, the dark night of the soul, and, figure a way out through it. And then having done that, you can take someone else, take a client or whoever you're working with, and you take them by the hand and lead them through that process and say, look, it's not hopeless. You can get through it. This is what you need to do, bit by bit, step by step. You need to sort of address these issues, clear away the stuff that, that's blocking you. And, then you can start to, you'll feel lighter for clearing the stuff. And then having done that, you'll actually be able to sort of see where you are more clearly and see the direction or feel the direction you want to go. Because it's almost like a feeling of
oh, yeah,
guided by a sense of fulfillment. That's the thing, really. And,
and not only that, not only just stop there at healing stage. And we people came out finally, when we are in that state, we really started to create, get the clarity, get the direction, and something we didn't know before, and started to come to us. Like you and me, we started to receive different information in different formats, videos and this and that, this message, that. So it becomes easy. We don't need to try hard, to push, to strive, like make it happen all on ourselves, by ourselves. That way we edged our spiritual part out actually from us. When we could embrace that spirituality, we are in that state, really, we start to receive the internal guidance. That's also huge. And also, even we people have some kind of talents, gifts, clear audience, right? Clear, like voyeurs, whatever, these kind of gifts. But only that part, it's still not as powerful as us being connecting to the divine's power in that state. Now I just experience more and more people talk about manifesting, not only, money-wise, just, feel like, oh, my soul desire, this is something I feel like, oh, I would love to experience something. And you even don't know, you just kind of set up your intention of, even didn't purposely, just have some thought in your mind or so. After a while, things suddenly happen. And when it happened already, I suddenly realized, like, oh, I actually, thought about that in my mind. One day I would do this is happening. So it's really pure, joy, really, kind of, really, and also free yourself up because you are not attaching to it, feeling bad, things didn't go your way. We could ponder around of something you feel like, oh, it's not happening, that's okay. So that kind of thing. So it's just, I just feel like it's unbelievable journey. And the big thing is to stop judging. No matter where you are, just meet yourself at where you are. No judging on any kind of occasions, feelings, stuckness, whatever. And then start from where you are and come back to you instead of going out to grab. And then things will start to shift. The first step really, really is stop judging, accepting yourself unconditionally, even though you didn't have it from your parents, from the society, the community, but this part of unconditional love, it's inside of us. So we can experience, we can connect to that part and experience it. And we could give it to our internal version of us who needs this love. So that's a huge part, really shifted me, big time.
Yes, it's a very good point. It's one of the great paradoxes with therapeutic work, which you've touched on, is that in order to heal something, you have to first, like this takes stress, for example, in order to heal stress, you have to first accept it unconditionally. You have to, instead of running away from the feeling, you accept it. And the same applies to, it seems, to all areas of spirituality. The more you push away for something, or the more you strive for something, either of those states is a state of basically, it's like a subtle affirmation that you don't have the thing you want, or you don't, it's, and you say it's only through true acceptance of whatever the situation is, who you are, whatever the feeling is you're looking at, or just you being you. It's complete unconditional acceptance, which actually unlocks the door and allows things to flow. So, and it's because it's contradictory, mentally it doesn't make sense at all. This is a horrible feeling, I really can't stand it, so I'm going to accept it. That doesn't make sense. But it's because it's not a head thing, it's a heart thing. And as you said, it's from the heart that everything happens. And so it's not about logic, it's just heart logic rather than head logic.
Yes, yeah. I love that. So, yes, heart logic.
Yeah, so from the heart it all flows. And what you also said, you're talking about manifesting, getting things what you want in your life, that's alignment. So the more you just align yourself to what you want without striving or grasping for it, and just just being that thing that you want almost, then that allows it to flow. So I'm sure that I've got a feeling, because they've got acceptance and alignment, there ought to be a third A. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be.
Okay.
That will come to me.
Aligned actions. Yes.
Actions, yes.
But anyway, yeah. But anyway, yeah. That's really so true. I mean, when you talked, I also felt like what you want. I also felt the difference. It's not really what I want from my mental understanding. A lot of time before, I felt like I want this. I want to experience this. I want it to happen now, da. But finally, when I said, I felt like, oh yeah, I hope I can experience that. I can have that. It's like it came out more naturally. And I even don't feel like it's really from my head, from mind, from ego stuff. It's just like my heart, could really express what my needs are, like easier. For many people like me, myself, I didn't know what my really deepest needs are. I was there taking care of everybody for them, da. So put myself at the last, that kind. So this is also a big difference. So it's like your heart knows really that you need something you want. It's not exactly that you need for living a good life, joyful life.
Yeah, no, nothing pushes something further away than neediness. It's
yes.
We all know needy people, and the thing about needy people is they push. You just want to run a mile from them. That neediness pushes you away, and it works on all sorts of levels, including a spiritual level in terms of manifesting it. It's this kind of thing. Neediness is an affirmation that you don't have this thing, which so continues to generate the fact that you don't have it and things. And I'm just thinking about that. There's this in healing. There's this paradox, which is that if you want to heal something, so I'm working on healing something for someone. The attachment to the result of the healing itself is an affirmation that you don't have the healing. And it's, again, you have to accept the thing as it is. And then there is some kind of letting go of,
totally.
The whole process, and surrendering and allowing the healing to flow without attachment to the result, and just let it flow through you. And I know this is very much how you work. I've had the benefit and pleasure of being worked on by you, and it's I'd like to just for people who are watching this, I'll just share with you the benefit of my experience of working with Jenny, because it's very interesting, because you work so intuitively that and it's, you just start saying these things. Okay, so we want to clear, cleanse, release, remove, heal this thing. We hand it over. That's your little phrase. Clear, cleanse, release,
my language.
Hand it over, and we got no attachment and things like this. And it's all just so light. You're just saying these things, and you think, yeah, is this going to do anything? He's just saying some words, and then you feel a little something, and you say, oh, I'm feeling this headache now here. And you say, okay, let's concentrate on the headache. And you do this, and you go through this process, and you get these little sensations through your body. And you very much in tune with the physical side. You tend to sense physically the whole process. So for you, it's mapped, the things you're healing are mapped onto your body sensations, whereas for me, I see all
system.
For me, it's all an energy field that I see, and I clear one, and then there's another one, and so it's all, it presents itself differently. But so all this is happening, and you think, no, this is also, it seems so light and almost insignificant, and then you realize at the end of half an hour, bloody hell, I feel completely different. Some huge block has just disappeared almost effortlessly. And it's just miraculous watching you and feeling that you work like that. It's really quite remarkable. It's
thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your sharing.
In fact, being worked on like that inspired me to explore that style much more. And because you've mentioned to start, we have EFT, which is this tapping thing for people who don't know, and then OEFT, which is a no tapping, more spiritual thing. Both those things are still quite structured ways of working, in that you have a specific event, which is a time when such and such happened and you felt this, and you work through those things, whereas your style is more, okay, this is what's presenting, this is the person here, they have stress, they have anxiety, I don't even need to know where that comes from.
That's the
I
thing.
don't even need to know. I don't care. The divine, whoever or whatever is doing the healing, they know. So, okay, you do it. I'll just
I
I
am really so thankful also, because I didn't start to do the work this way. But the more I do or so, the more I feel like, hey, it's so natural. It's easy for me. And I don't need to do anything. I don't need to know anything. Oh, people share with me or so. And then I say, okay, we just hand it over to the divine. That's why I call this divine love method. And it would just come to you. Some image, sometimes sensation, sometimes message, or even kind of vague image, whatever. I just didn't try at all. And I bet, I also experience yours. Maybe next time, and we don't want to overwhelm our people. But anyway, I just hope, our conversation here, not only just because we want to share our thing, but humans are so in common. And no matter, age, gender, nationality, location, whatever, it's all the same. So we just hope, through our conversation, and I appreciate you do this kind of video series, interview, you call them, and it's really to share the message, and people who are meant to receive this information or so, we just hope that it could be helpful and give some kind of inspiration, some other, views, broadening up to see the whole picture, especially when people are in challenging situation. It's hard. I knew. I don't want to go to the details, otherwise our conversation would never end. But
That's the thing about this, the stuff. Once you start talking, it's hard to stop.
But if anything, can allow me to share this, because now I think about, you said, oh, your spirituality or so. Looking back, now I see something in my mind or in my soul already I just never knew as a child or so. I shared with you the first memory I had was me sitting in the stroller. It's like almost feeling like, they lost me or I was sent here, but nobody was there for me. It's that kind of. So then, when I was like in the elementary school or middle school, maybe that kind of age, I remember, one time when I was walking after school, so I just felt like part of me was like floating in the air. That's the sensation I didn't understand by then. And I just almost felt like I had a silent screaming inside of me. Angry that I cannot be me. But if you ask me, okay, if we let you to be you, who you are, I even didn't know who I really was because I was not taught to freely be me and giving my voice to be heard and seen or whatever. And of course, I heard that word like the world needs healer. All these kind of occasion, I didn't know that's my gift. I didn't even think about that. I think that happened to many people. Oh, and the other thing I think I also shared with you, when people ask me, what do you want to be when you grown up? I said teacher. And I said, no, not ordinary teacher. My mother thought I was ambitious to being a principal. I said, no, it's not principal. Then I could not explain. But come back to this place. Looking back, I just felt like, wow, my soul actually already knew and telling me all the time. I even didn't know until I right now really connect to the spiritual highest self of me. And I understand. I know that my soul, my heart is like loyally serve me and guides me all the time until to this path. So with that said, that's why I finally came out to really summarize your question you asked at the beginning. I didn't really give the description. That's why I finally came out to be a soul satisfaction coach and a healer to help those spiritually oriented people, highly sensitive and intuitive person who felt trapped in emotional patterns, who feel powerless, so that I can really help. This is really my journey. I call myself empath, right? So the wounded empath from whatever emotional stuff to really come out to feel empowered, to be ourselves, to bring the power back as who we are, and then shift, really feel this, satisfaction, freedom, joy. It's really the nurturing feeling I went through all. So that's why I went through all experienced all to come out to do this work to fulfill my soul's purpose. And everybody has their unique individual journey and experiences. And then they come out to fulfill theirs. So when we could look about this, it's just so beautiful. I just see now, everybody just has a beautiful soul, wants to express their desire, their everything. It's the soul evolution journey. We only will shift to a higher frequency place to really feel so much better. And looking back, you said it's all worth it. Hey, I'm here and I want to share this with more. So everybody, if we, or at least somebody who are called, like somebody is, watching this or watching your, other videos or whatever people's sharing right now. A lot of people out there are sharing. So you just know that you are meant to receive all, and you are on your journey. You come out, and everybody, if we all do this, we participate more of the frequency of joy, peace, love, instead of participating in the heavy energy that's going on in the world of fear, anger, powerlessness, hopelessness, despair, all these kind of things. So that's why, I just felt like finally when we come out to this place, it really becomes our mission, right? That's why we are here. Thank you so much.
It
yes.
is indeed a mission. Yes. Well, it's also a blessing
I'm so thankful.
It really is. So if people want to get in touch with you, Jenny, what's the best way of them doing that?
Oh, thank you for mentioning. I have my website, but it's under reconstruction right now, but still has information, the website and contact information, and I could maybe give you a link, for people if they feel resonated. Yeah, if they want to know more, maybe they can find that link. And I have some Instagram, insight sharing, and I also have a private Facebook supporting group. I share a lot of free stuff, insights, whatever. I will give it to you, because when I speak, they will not remember or whatever. Yes.
Yeah, I'll put the links under the video and on the show notes, so basically everyone can have access to that. So that would be great. That's wonderful, Jenny. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about all this. It's, as I say, we could talk for hours about it, but it's been a real pleasure. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much. I would also continue all these kind of conversation. Maybe next time I will love to talk with you together about something. But thank you also for everybody who spent time listening there, if it's really resonating, to you. And hopefully, you are also on this journey. We are all on this journey together. We just move and shifting, transforming together. Thank you again. Thank you everybody again.
Thanks, Jenny. Okay, bye.